Hello, my YouTube family and friends. Pray everyone is having a beautiful, blessed day in the mighty name of Jesus. Y'all, I'm up and out early this morning. I had to take my daughter, my youngest daughter, to get her hair braided. So for her appointment, she had to be there at 9. So I just dropped her off. Well, we had to wait, but I just dropped her off, and so I am out and about. Normally I'm not out this early. I haven't been out this early in a while. But it's okay. Yeah, she's getting ready to go back to school in Chicago, so she's wanting to getting her hair braided. So she'll probably be there until maybe, I don't know, she'll be there for a while, probably 2 or 3 maybe. Hopefully it won't go past that. So yeah, and then I was like, well, since I'm already out, I'm just gonna, since I gotta take her to do that, I don't like I have done it before, but I was like, I think I want to just go ahead and get ready with her, get ready myself, because I was sort of tempted to just throw on some clothes and just, take her and then go back home. But I'm like, well, because where she's getting her hair done from where we live is only, I think it's only like 30 minutes. So I was like, well, since I'm already gonna, I'm already having to go out, I'm just gonna already, get ready myself. And that way, once I drop her off, then I can just do what I need to do my little errands or whatever. But I said, yeah, I'm gonna do that, because I sort of don't like to, I've done it before, but I sort of don't like to do that, have to be somewhere. I take them somewhere and then I go back home and I have to, shower and do all that stuff. So I'm like, yeah, because I know if I had did that, I would have probably not came back out. Maybe, that's just how. Because I would have jumped, I would lay back down in the bed and start watching something on YouTube or something, or a movie or whatever, and started cleaning up, because I always doing laundry on Friday night. So I would have been, just doing I would have got distracted, and then next thing I know, I would not have probably came back out till it was time to go get her. So I was like, yeah, I ain't playing that game. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get ready and get out and go ahead and get ahead of some stuff today. So, but I really don't have a lot to do. No, honestly, I do not. She's getting ready. She'll leave next week, so I really don't have to buy groceries and stuff. I was mainly, buying things because I knew she liked a lot of stuff, but she likes sort of like healthy stuff like I do. So my other two, younger two, they, my oldest daughter, my youngest son, they don't really like healthy so much like we do. So they DoorDash or whatever a lot, which is fine, because they got their money. But she does. My youngest daughter, she likes to do Target hauls and stuff, and then she'll get her little favorite stuff she likes to eat, which is cool. And then, but I had told them, I said, when she go back to school next week, I said, Mom ain't gonna be, because I've actually quit cooking. I'll go in there and fix me something, and I'm trying my best to, wean them off of that, because, and which I never really, they really never owned that, but it was just me. I feel like, okay, I gotta fix them something to eat and make sure, especially my youngest son, because he works really hard all day, and he's out in the sun, and I'm like, okay, let me get, make sure they got a dinner. But he told me, he said, Mama, you don't have to do that. And my oldest daughter, all three of them told me that. Said, we'll find something to eat. And I said, okay. So I've been trying to do better with that, because I'm like, I told them a lot of days when I get off work, I'm ready to I want to fix me something to eat, or if I choose the DoorDash and eat, enjoy that night, because it's time. Next thing you know, it's time to go to bed, and then get ready to go to work the next day. So I just, sometimes you just want to do stuff for yourself, But it's hard for me to come out of that because that's the type of heart I have. I like to do things for others. So I'm trying to, you know, to an extent, not be so consumed with that. But it's sort of hard because I'm like, gosh, you know, I really enjoy, you know, I enjoy doing things for others and making sure they're good. But yeah, my son, he said, Mama, you don't even have to cook. You just do that because you want to do it. And I said, yeah, I want to do it. That's true. But when I look at the clock and I'm like, gosh, I go in there because I get off work 5:30. I go in there and I'm like, okay, it's 8 o'clock or whatever, you know, because I've just been cooking, and then you know, me and my oldest daughter, we have a thing. We watch. We were watching a lot of wedding videos. We like watching those, and just, you know, we just have a little routine every night. You know, we'll watch I'll watch some of her vlogs, you know, that she like watching. We'll kind of comment on them or whatever, you know, just a little fun stuff. And then I'm looking at the clock and I'm like, gosh, it's 8 o'clock already. Well, no, it's usually around, it's like just a little after 7. Or maybe, yeah, or almost 7. So I'm like, huh, okay, it's time to go to bed. You know, it's time to get into bed. And I'm not going to sleep, but I'm in the bed. I'm in the bed. I wash my face and tie up my hair. And I'm like, gosh, where did the night go? But it goes really super fast. It does. It really does. So I'm at the mail place, y'all. I'm gonna pick up my mail. This little guy in here, he's really, I don't know if he'll be here this morning, but I normally come later in the day, but he's really nice. But nice young man, like he's maybe, I don't know, and he's young, younger than me, way younger than me. But he just goes so slow, and I'll be like, I don't think, you know, I think he's okay and whatever. But he'll just go, you know, I tell him, because you always tell him your mailbox number. And he'll just go so slow. And then he'll come back and give me my mail. And I say, thank you, you know. But he's just so slowful. So maybe it'll be someone else to hear this morning. But I like, I've shared this before, I like having my mail here because when we move, it helps, it cuts down, you know, the money, money. Okay, Lord. I was trying to say the mail. Okay, Lord. I received that. I like doing that because I like coming here and having this always, because when we move, you know, the mail is still, you know, it's always here, you know. And even when we moved from the other condo we were at last year to this one, the one we were in, well, we were in 2 of 2024, actually. Is that right? Yeah, we don't move around so much, I can't even remember. The condo that the lease didn't get renewed. We were there 2023 to 2024. Because we moved out July of that year. And then we moved into this condo November of last year. So for those two, you know, I don't really like dealing with the United States Postal Service because it takes so long to change your address and stuff. And I don't really want to deal with them until we actually get in our house. So, you know, I feel like for now, you know, just keep it at the P.O. box. And then I like the P.O. box too because a lot of family, I don't want them knowing our address. And so for my own personal peace reasons. So I just, you know, when they mail us stuff, they mail it, my mom, all of them, they mail it to this P.O. box. So the only address that they actually ever had was the house that we first moved in when we moved here. That was back in 2022. So we long since moved from there. But I'm gonna go in here, y'all. I'll take you all with me. And like I said, I don't have a whole lot to do. Oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I need to go to Bank of America because I have to check, I I gotta take care of something there. So I'll be back. Good morning. How are you? I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Doing just fine. What have you got going?
I just want to pick up a little mail.
Well, what's the number again?
Okay, I'm back, y'all. I had to go pick up my mail, and I got some mail from my mom. She's always sent a card, and that man pulled off real fast. She always sent us a card, and which we appreciate. And she sent it, but yeah, I really like having this here because, like I said, it's very, it's very helpful. And like I said, when we move around and stuff, you have it's always a way to get your mail. Receive the mail. Like it doesn't affect, receiving mail here. So I really like that. It's only like, what is it? It's, I'm trying to think. It's $10. I think it's $10 a month to maintain this P.O. box. And they just, it's a direct deposit, not direct deposit. It's they withdraw it, whatever you call that. They withdraw it every month. So, but yeah, I like it. I really do. And at first I sort of, I wasn't in favor of it because I never did a P.O. box. But now I get why a lot of people have them too for security. Because it's some of the, I'm sure those are more. But they actually, when I go in there, they hand me my mail. I tell them my mailbox number and they'll hand me the mail. But I noticed there are actually P.O. boxes in there. And there's P.O. boxes in there. And you got to have, of course, the key. So I've noticed that, but I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure those will cost more. But yeah, I just do the minimum. But like I said, I really like having it because I was gonna say a lot of people have them for security because they don't want mail. Like if they're receiving maybe checks or something every monthly or any type of it's to prevent tampering with their mail. So it's for just, I guess, for peace of mind, I guess, maybe. But yeah, that's why a lot of people have them. But when we were in Tennessee, I would hear a lot of people saying they had them. And I'm like, why do they got a P.O. box? The mail can just get delivered at their house. But no, I understand now why they do that. I understand totally. But it's crazy a lot of times, when you're so accustomed to doing stuff one way, and then when you sort of push to doing it, a different way, you're like, why wasn't I've never done this before, but I like it, But in my case, I would always hear people talking about it, but now I'm actually doing it. But yeah, it's I'm not doing it for peace of mind. I'm just doing it for it's sort of convenient to do it that way. Because the only mail that we actually get at the place that we live in now is just utilities. We get our utility bills there, some random junk mail stuff, and then whenever I go, maybe to a doctor's appointment or something like that, I'll get mail. Of course, I give them our address, and I'll get mail there for that. But that's it. Yeah. And it cuts down on a lot of. Now, one thing about this P.O. box, I never really get any junk mail through it because it's specifically, it's going to either be mail from, maybe family. It's going to be mail from back in Tennessee. It's going to be mail from, I'm a part of a credit union here. It's mail, I get mail from them. And then, trying to think what other mail. And it just maybe something, if anybody who has, I've given that, P.O. box number out to address, I'll get mail from them. But yeah, mostly it's, and that's what I like too. It's not like I'm never going to go there. Oh, and then my daughter, anything regarding her schooling, because they have that address. So yeah, I like it. I actually love it. It's super convenient, and it's super. It's just an easy way to, you're not getting. I know when I go there, I'm not going to be like handed a bunch of junk mail or nothing. It's going to be. I know what the mail's going to be, and then they have a. I have a thing on my phone where I can see what mail has come through, and sometimes I don't feel like checking it that way, so I'm like, well, and I always usually go pick it up on Saturday because they're not open, of course, on Sunday, and I don't get a chance to go through the week unless I'm off. So I said Saturday is always the day when I'll pick it up. But the guy who he's like I think he's the owner now, because his dad owned that place, but I think his dad retired, so he's like the owner now, the son. But he's super nice. But he was like, he always have a cowboy hat on, but he was like, I'm trying to think of what made the conversation come up. But he said, he said, "Are you doing anything fun today?" And I said, "No." I said, "Not really." I said, "Just out and about." And he said, "Oh," and I said, "Well, my daughter's getting ready to go back to school," and so I told him she goes to school in Illinois, and so he said, "Oh, me and my wife went there," so we got to talking about that, and he was saying how he thought it was so busy there, but he was the same guy, and I said that to him. I said, weren't you the one that helped us when we I couldn't remember, it's been a little bit ago, but it was really just last year, but I said, weren't you the one that helped us pack up all her stuff to send it? And he said, "Yep, it was me." And he said, she's gonna be a sophomore. I said, "Yep." I said, time goes super fast, don't it? He said, "It does." He said, "Wow." So yeah, he was the one I was talking about in a previous video, how my father-in-law, how he treated us that day, and I was just like, oh my gosh, my whole thing was not thinking about myself, y'all. I was thinking about how he had helped us, because that's when I was living. That's when it was just me. So it was just me, because the children had went back. My big children had went back to Tennessee. They were staying with my father-in-law them, and so it was just me. But the lady from church we were living with, or like I said, it was just me. We struggled that day, y'all. We were, oh my gosh, we were struggling because, I'm not that big in size, and she's smaller than me, and her car was super small, and we just did our best we went to U-Haul, get boxes and everything, and when we pulled up to the P.O. box when I just left from, it was so much stuff. We had so much stuff in the back seat because my daughter, she had a lot of stuff. She had a lot of stuff to ship. And I didn't realize that, because see, all that stuff had been out of sight, out of mind. But when it was time to get it packaged up and stuff, I was like, okay, that was the reality of it. That was a lot of stuff. But I remember we opened the door to the car. We had got to the P.O. Box place, and the boxes were tumbling out. I mean, no, he had a dolly. We had a dolly trying to take a bunch of them in there at the same time, and the boxes were so full, some of them were busting at the seam, because we taped them up, but we were just trying to save on boxes or whatever. But it was a mess. But God got us through it, and he came outside to help us and stuff. That was the owner. But he said, yeah, it was me. He remembered. Yeah. And I said, yep. I said, it's her sophomore year. He said, wow. So yeah, that day was so, that was a crazy day. But it was crazy. It was a crazy good day. Because, y'all, when I make up in my mind I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And ain't nobody going to stop me from doing it. And God put that in my spirit too. I'm determined. And when you say I can't do something, when you say I can't make it, oh yeah, it's on. It's a challenge right there. You just started a challenge, and I'm gonna make it. Since you said I couldn't, I'm gonna do it. But just because you said that, you spoke against me. But yeah, it was crazy that day. But yeah, God got us. He got us through it, and I'm gonna have to do that again, because everything is there. She had all her stuff put in storage there, so when she go back, they'll deliver everything to her, to her dorm and stuff. So that's a blessing too. So yeah, it's just when I think back on some of the stuff that has transpired, I'm like, I'm a little exhausted in thinking about it, because I'm like, Lord, did we do all of that in that short time? We did. And that's why I have a hard time remembering stuff, because I'm like, no, that was the same year. We went through all of that in the same year. Because it seemed like it's different years, but it's the same year. The year we moved in with her and the year the lease didn't get renewed was the same year. But it seemed like it was different timing, but it wasn't. It was right after. It was one before the other. When we moved out, I remember them dates though. When the lease didn't get renewed, that was July of 2024, and we moved in with her mid-August, because we were in a hotel for just a little while. And I don't know why I didn't document that. I should have documented that while we were in that hotel, but I guess I wasn't. Well, I made some videos outside of the hotel and I talked about it, but that was not fun either. But God got us through that too, but one thing I can say, even in our, all that stuff we had to go through, me and the children, we persevered. My youngest son, he was getting irritated, because he was like, Mama, and he was getting a little agitated with me, because he felt like I wasn't making, and when I wasn't, he felt like I wasn't making good decisions, and I was all over the place, and that was one of the primary reasons that they went back, which I've shared that before, but that was why they went back to Tennessee, but we laugh about that now, because I tell them, I just told my daughter before I dropped her off to get her hair done, I told her, I said, y'all thought y'all were going back to a lap of luxury, and it didn't work out that way. I said, everybody's going through something. I don't care what kind of house you got, I don't care what city, what state you live in, we all are dealing with something. And whether you admit to it, whether you own up to it, we all dealing with stuff. And people seem like they got it going on, and I told my son, I said, don't look at the outside. I said, you don't know what's truly going on with somebody unless they choose to tell you. And and then a lot of times they lying, because they're trying to make themselves look good. But if somebody asks me, that's one thing I can say, I'm not ashamed to give my testimony, because God has been too good. He's still being good to us all. And I'm not going to be hush mouth about his goodness. I'm not going to be, afraid to talk about him. No, I'm going to tell everybody everywhere I go. But it's some people, they don't want to talk about, when they don't have to go through hard times. Because they want people to think, I've always, I haven't had to. No, people need to hear. They need to hear that because we don't look like what we've been through. That's the testimony right there. But a lot of people, they just don't want to talk about that stuff, because sometimes it was really super hard for them. So they like, I don't want to remember that. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it, and I sure don't want to think about it. So I get that. I get it. But at the same time, God wants He do want you to talk about it. Oh, I think they're not even open. Well, yeah, they're open. God do want you to talk about it, because somebody needs to hear that so they can be free. And that's what the enemy wants us to. He don't want us to. That's what he wants us to do, to not talk about it. But if you it look like they open. If you just ask God to what what he wants you to say or do, he'll tell you. But it's just, to me, it's a blessing. It really is, to be able to say, I made it through. I made it through. And not only I made it through, God helped me make it through. That's the whole testimony right there. So, y'all, I'm at Ross. I think I'm at a different Ross this time. I'm trying my whatever here, because I know the Ross that I really like is near where we live, which I'm not over on that side of town right now, but I really like this is the Ross we would come to all the time. We stayed in the hotel, and I just buy a little different stuff, comforters or whatever. And then, but I'm finding their clothing, it may have stepped up since I haven't been over here in a while. But they last time I was here, it wasn't a good picking on dresses. So we'll see what happens today. But I don't know, I really like Ross now. I didn't like Ross this much when we stayed in Tennessee. But I like it. One thing, the dresses are cheap, inexpensive. Excuse me, I don't want to say cheap, but they're very inexpensive, and they're nice. I like a really nice, flowy, pretty, really nice flowy dress. I love it. I love it. So, and long. I like my dresses long. And it's cooler. It's cooling down. Like it's, what is it, 66 degrees right now. And normally around this time of morning, it's like 80. So the cool weather is coming upon us, which I'm glad. I like it when it's cool. People, women, cover up. They'll cover up then because they don't have a choice. But then some of them, I'll still see some of them, they're still having a tank top with a sweater, tank top underneath sweater open. But they got, they forced to have on jeans or whatever because it's so cold. But I'm like, just put on clothes. Gosh. But that's another prayer, man. I'm praying for women who feel like they have to show out everything they own. That's their worth. And I see it all the time. I've been in stores and I stand behind women, young women, older women. Some of them older than me. And they got on little bitty, itty bitty shorts and a shirt, breasts. You clearly see they don't have on nothing underneath. It's just, and I'm just like, that just bothers my soul, y'all. Because I'm like, not only have respect for yourself, have respect for other people. And I don't know why they think men want to see that. Men do not, I just thought about something, y'all. I'm glad I just remembered that. And I did not get my, see, thank you, Jesus. I was about to be, yeah, I forgot. I need to go to the bank. That was my whole thing of coming on this side of town. And thank you, Jesus. Yeah, I was about to go in there, and I've been using my daughter. I don't know why I didn't get that from her, because she's gonna be in there all day. I don't know why I didn't do that, but I wasn't thinking about it. But because I won't be able to buy anything if I can't. I'm gonna go to my bank and see will they help me with this, getting this. I just need my Apple Pay activated on my card. That's all I need. But oh, thank you, Lord. I would have been. It would have probably hit my brain once it would have hit my brain once I was standing in line with the items. And I would have like, oh, because I don't have a, I'm so used to having the Apple Pay on my card. And I told y'all, I have a new phone now, and for some reason it will not allow me to activate the Apple Pay on this card. On this phone for whatever reason, and I don't know. I called the 800 number, and the lady was like, I think you need an actual actual card so you can do that. So I'm like, yeah, but so yeah, I didn't even think. I've been using what we've been doing. My daughter banks at the same bank I bank at. So what we've been doing is I'll have her card, her physical card, and I'll Zelle money to that card, and then I'm able to use the card. I've been doing it that way, which has been working out perfectly fine. But today I totally forgot to get the card from her, and I pray I'm able to. I may not be able to. We'll see. I'm gonna see will they be able to help me because if I can't get my Apple Pay activated, I'll be headed back home because I'm not gonna be able to buy anything. I can't use my money that I have. Yeah, I'm glad I thought about that. It just hit my brain. I'm like, gosh. I knew that, but I just I don't know. I just forgot. she had, like, well, normally she's with me, so, but we sat in the car because we were waiting on the lady who braids her hair. She was running a little behind, but we sat in the car and talked and everything, and I didn't even think about getting that, it just didn't even hit my brain. That's why a lot of times when things are on my mind, because I have sometimes just have a lot of stuff I'm thinking about, I have to write stuff down and just say, okay, this is what I gotta ask for, I gotta do, because if I don't do that, then it just totally slips my mind. But it's okay. If I can't do anything, I just have to wait till, because I really don't have the Apple Pay on my. I'm able to do Instacart, or I'm able to DoorDash from my phone, but I'm not able to like I can't go in a store or something now, like right now, and do my double click on my phone and do my Apple Pay from there. I can't do that. That's what I cannot do right now. But like I said, it's okay if it don't work out, well, they can't help me activate it. I'll just head home, because I won't be able to do anything, which I really don't have nothing to do anyway. But I was gonna just kind of, do a little running around while she was getting her hair done, but it's no biggie if I can't. So I'm headed to the bank now. They always real helpful at this bank, so I'm gonna ask to see what they be able to. Hopefully they can help me, because I feel like it's just something that I'm not doing right, but we'll see. We will see. But y'all, I'm just so happy in the place that I'm in. I'm so happy. I thank the Lord every day for His grace, His mercy upon me and my children. I see so much progression that we've made since we've been here, from the scurrying around and not knowing what to do, didn't know where to go. Weren't familiar with a lot of places here, and now it really feels like home. It really does. And I know now a lot of places I don't have to Google Map anymore, because I know how to get there. I know where they're at. And the area that I'm in right now is literally the area that we moved to when we first. This is the area we were in when we first moved here, and I'm very familiar with this area, very, because we were in a hotel and we were going to stores and gas stations and stuff, and now we're in a whole nother city now, in this city. But I love it, I really do, and I just really thank God for the journey. So much more. The best is still yet to come for all of us, but who are waiting on Him. But I'm thankful. I really am, because it hasn't been easy, but it's worth it. It's worth it. And that's why it's so important when the Lord is telling you to move to another state, relocate, whatever. Do it, because a lot of people say, well, I've been in this place all my life, but being in that place all your life, what is that doing for you though? Are you growing there, or are you dying there? Which one? Because if you don't see any type of growth or any type of progression there, what's your purpose? What's going on? Because I'm trying to straighten up y'all and park right. That's my pet peeve. Parking right. Yeah, what are you doing if you can't, if you're not progressing, you're stagnant. And I feel like that's what we were doing all those years. We were just sitting still. That's what we were doing. Well, I was. My children, that's what I was doing. And I'm just thankful. I really am. For He had to move us. He had to move us out of that state to get us, up. He had to uproot us. That's what He had to do. And we've been uprooted. We've been uprooted, and I thank him for that. I really do, every day. So yeah, I'm gonna go in here and hopefully they can help me. It's always a lady in here. I think she the manager, I think, or something, team lead or something. But she always be in here to help. So hopefully she can help me. So anyway, I'll be back. Hello, my YouTube family and friends. So I'm back. The Lord is so good, y'all. I was able to, a guy, he was super nice. He was able to help me, which, you know, that's what they do, because that's what their job is. But he helped me get the Apple Pay on my phone, and so of course I had to. I didn't realize that's what I needed to do. I just had, but it seemed like that what he showed me was not working. I guess I just had to meet him, and he had to help me, because me and my daughter, we tried all of what he showed us, and it wouldn't allow me to do anything. But maybe we was just sort of frustrated or just trying to hurry up and do it, because that Saturday was the day we were going to head to Boulder, and due to I couldn't get access to funds, I was like, we can't go nowhere. We got to stay around here. So anyway, yeah, he showed, I mean, every time they showed me something, it's so super. I'm like, gosh, I could have done that myself, but they make it look so super easy. But anyway, so my new card is on its way, the actual physical card. And then he said, so he activated, when you do that, you know, it gives you like a temporary card. So now I'm able to utilize my Apple Pay. So that's great. I'm thankful for that. So I'm just trying to remember. I think my code should be the same. I think, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, we'll see. I think it should be. So yeah, I'm so thankful about that. I really am. Oh, that's a load off my mind. But like I said, if it, you know, had it not worked, I was like, well, I'll just go back home, because I got some stuff to do at home anyway. But it, you know, you want to be able to have access to your money. And it feels odd when you can't, you know, do that. It makes me feel some type of way, because I'm like, okay, I know I got money, but I can't, you know, I can't do anything. And when last weekend and the weekend before, that's all we were doing, me and my daughter. You know, I'm sending her money to her card, so I can use her card, you know, use her card for the physical card. And it was just weird. It just felt kind of scammy for me. I was doing something wrong, but it was my money. It was her card. She's my daughter, but it just felt a little scammy. So anyway, I'm glad that's all figured out. So yeah, I'm gonna head back over here to Ross. I got to go down here and turn around, because I meant to go straight from where I was just at, but I turned instead. So it's okay. So yeah, I hope you all are having a good, wonderful, beautiful day in Jesus' name. The guy, he was like, I like your shirt. He was real talkative. I was asking him, has he always lived here? Turn around, y'all, right here. I was asking him, has he always lived here? And he said, no, so he moved here from Indiana. I just like talking to people. I really do. I love it. Because that's what we're supposed to do. You know, we're so accustomed to, you know, okay, I go in this store, I go buy this, I go do that, and that's all I'm going to do. No, it's, you know, we're blessed to be a blessing to somebody else, and you just never know how you can make somebody's day, or, you know, you show them that you care about them, or I don't know. I always think like that. But yeah, he said he moved here. He said he's been here 3 years, so he's been here the same amount. I didn't think about that when I was talking to him, but he's been here the same amount of time we've been here. And he said he was, I think he said he was a manager there for a restaurant, and he said he moved here. And he said he loves it here. I said, that's what I like to hear, because most of the people that say they moved here, it's always the same answer. They say they love it here. But some of the natives, they're like, it's too crowded here and it's too many people, new people coming in. But so yeah, he was really nice guy. Like he's maybe, I don't know, 30-ish or something like that. But yeah, he was very helpful, and I was telling him that we drove here. I love sharing that story, because it was actually, the story is not as fun as I make it sound now as I'm saying it, because we were sort of, I'm gonna be honest, we were sort of stressing coming here, and not stressing as far as financial or anything, because we had plenty of money, but it was just of the unknown and trying to hurry up and get here. That was the thing, because we spent a lot of money, because we were staying, it was hope, like I said, God knew we were going to need that money for all of that we had to deal with, because we had to stay in hotels, we had to it was just a lot. And when we finally did make it here, we were so happy because me and my youngest son, we were, he would drive some and then I would drive, so we were sharing that responsibility. But it was so tiring, and I was like, gosh, are we gonna ever get to Colorado? But that's why ain't nobody get me out of here unless the Lord tell me himself that to leave. And that's why they like, when y'all coming back? I'm like, yeah, we're not. We're not. We have no desire to come back. But one thing though, I always think about y'all is, once anyone passes away or something, a close family member, and my children have asked me about that, and they said, Mama, you wouldn't go back if that? I said, I don't mean to sound mean or hateful or harsh, but I said, I don't know, because we're so far away now. And of course, it was always the option to fly, but I don't know. I just would have to, I don't know. It just depends on how things will happen. But I would want to go back. I would love to, but it's just, like I said, I just don't know. I honestly, I just don't. And back there was once upon a time that answer would be, automatic. Yeah, yeah. But I just, to be honest, I just don't. And I don't know if me, and I don't mean to sound, I love all of them. I love them so much, and I love them more so now than I did when I lived around them. But it's just the fact that I just, you just don't know what type of circumstance you're going to be in, or what, not circumstance, but, I don't know, y'all. I just don't know. I don't mean to sound, just like, ooh, that lady, she wouldn't go back if her mom or if her dad or someone died. I don't really have an answer for that. I really don't. But, because it's so, if you all knew all of the stuff that we had to deal with and go through, and it's not even about that. It's about, if you knew all of the everything, you'd be like, oh, okay, I get why she's saying that. But and like I said, I have no ill feelings with none of them or anything like that, but it's just, I just really don't have an answer for that. So we'll just go day by day, and I try not to think about that, but I know that day will come, because my mom, she's in her 70s, and my stepfather, he's 90. He's 90. So of course there's the big age difference there. I would love to check on them and call them, but it's just, like I said, there's so much stuff that they that's going on right now with me and my children, and to be honest, everything's it's smooth, it's peaceful, and it seems like when I call them and talk to them, and it's almost like I don't know, it's like they come across one way on the phone, but it's like they're another way when they get off the phone with me, if you catch my drift. And it's almost like they're you know, they're presenting themselves, you know, okay, we for y'all and we wishing y'all well, but you know, the Lord has revealed that to me. A lot of people, and this is for somebody, a lot of people act as though they're in your corner. They act like, you know, oh, I can't wait to talk to you, I really miss you, and yet and still they, you know, they're stopped when they not talking to you, they're talking about you, and they're bad mouthing you to other people and saying all kind of evil things against your life. And you know, that's why I do what I do, because that's what I was telling my children, and they finally listened to me. I told them, I said, and I've heard listening to someone on YouTube last night, he was saying the same thing. Everybody be mindful of who you're surrounded by. People, there are people around you that wish you, they want you dead, you know, and they may not necessarily want to take you out, but they would love to see it happen to you, you know. I mean, and I'm serious, y'all. I'm so serious. And you know, people think, oh, this my family, this my brother, this my cousin, this my road, you know, all this road dog and stuff. But that could very well be the person who could be plotting your demise. And I've shared this a time or two. It's so much of this running rampant in the world right now. And I had watched, shared the video about it. The lady, she was, I think, an entrepreneur or something. It was a black family. And I forget what year this happened, but it's been a few years now. But the husband was plotting against her life. He was jealous of her. A husband jealous of his wife. And he was plotting against her and had her killed while she was asleep. You know, had a botched robbery, trying to act like somebody came in and robbed the house or whatever. But all of it was plot. It was a plot. And they had children and everything. And she loved him and stuff. And he was, you know, had cheated on her prior to all of this. And he said he no longer, well, he had, and see, that's another thing. People get so comfortable in their dirt and doing wrong, they think they're untouchable. And he did all of that, and it's not funny that she passed away. It's never funny. But what's funny is that how it was a plot twist. She left behind a life policy, which was a pretty nice policy, and he thought he was gonna get that. Calling the place, the bank or wherever, you know, trying to get the check going, sent to him and all that. He wasn't even listed as beneficiary, and they never said who was, but I'm sure it was her children. So she probably had already noticed what was going on, or had some inkling that, you know, what could happen. And that was, I said, thank you Lord for her being sensible. And she said, okay, you know, and she probably knew and could have very well made her peace with Jesus about it all. But he thought, so he didn't win. He in jail for the rest of his life. The people who helped him, they in jail as well. Them sweet children are without a mama and a daddy. One dead, one in jail. And then, but they gonna be taken care of, because like I said, I believe that's who the money was left to. But yeah, they taped the phone call and everything, and he was trusted to be on that phone asking about some money, and had her, had her life taken. He took her life. And but see, people, when the enemy is they allow the enemy to use them, they're blind. Me and a man at church was talking about that. They're blind to the fact of they gonna have to pay. They're gonna have to pay for their. They have consequences. They're gonna have to pay, and they're not even thinking about that at the time. He was thinking about money. He was thinking about probably being with whoever he wanted to be with. Because I don't know why they think, you know, all these detectives and these people do this for this is what they have got degrees in. They search it. Something. That's why I sort of like watching. I don't like it for the killing. I like it for the investigation part, because I'm like, you know, they honestly think they're gonna get away with some of this stuff that they've done. and or any of it that they've done. They think they're gonna get away with it and ride off into the sunset with all this money. And usually when it's a big life policy involved, there was another case that involved a bunch of money. Neither one of them got the money. They plotted and planned on the lady's husband, her and the boyfriend or whatever. They sleeping around. Same end result. They didn't get no money. Both of them in jail for the rest of their life. He died. They had him killed, but they didn't get the money. So, you know, on top of it all, you know, you were a fool for thinking that you were going to get away with that. And you were even a bigger fool for taking somebody's life because of money, you know. So greedy after money, so greedy after what they want, and they want to be together, and we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And you willing to do whatever you have to do, or you think you can do, to you just don't want that person to live anymore. And it's so unfair, and they don't even care. They're not thinking about the children involved. They just thinking about lust. It's lust and greed. That's what it's always it involves. Lust and greed. Greed and lust, however you want to say it. So it's sad, y'all. It really is. But like I said, I've been watching those. There was a time that I didn't want to watch them because they made me uncomfortable, a lot of that stuff, you know. But now I'm watching it and I'm like, you know, these people, they really out here doing this stuff. They really out here taking people's lives for some money, you know. And they you know, when they getting interviewed and stuff, not flinching or nothing. Because they so confident that they're gonna get away with what they've done. So they, you know, they don't think, they feel like I guess they feel like they're untouchable. Because and some of them, and they're not even, you know, the facts are there that they did it, but it's no remorse there. You don't see no remorse on them. You don't see no, you know, I'm sorry, my loved ones, you know, is no longer here. Because they don't care. They're glad they ain't there. They're glad. But yeah, that was sort of funny. I said, wow. He called, like I said, they taped his conversation. The man who had his wife killed, they taped the conversation. He calling after he did that unthinkable act to his wife, to who he say he loved and vowed to love her through everything. He called. They had the phone call taped, and they said, you're not the beneficiary. And you could just hear the drop in his voice because he was so sure. And I bet at that moment, I bet he was like, what did I just do? You know, because he shouldn't have did that anyway. He shouldn't have took nobody's life anyway. But I'm saying it was all for nothing. Because what he did that's the reason he did that, to get the money, to get her money. And he didn't even get it. And probably wasn't going to never get it. But y'all, it's crazy. It's crazy out here. But I'm going to go in Ross. I'm good now. I'm going to go in here and see what they have. And I just like looking around in here. And trying to think, when I leave here, I sort of want me a ice. I've been doing good on my healthy stuff. So I had McDonald's, but that was it tasted weird. Because I know why, because I haven't had sugar and stuff in a few weeks. But it tasted kind of weird. But yeah, I would like to have that, just some tea. But like I said, I'm trying to do good, because, you know, not to do a lot of sugar intake, which is a lot of stuff do got sugar in it. So we'll see. I'm still working on eating better and watching, you know, my intake of sugar and stuff like that. And I had a Sprite. My daughter's like, Mom, you drinking Sprite early in the morning? And I shouldn't have got Sprite. I should have got orange juice or a smoothie. But yeah, when I leave here, I'm just trying to think. I don't know. I really don't have nowhere to go, y'all. I honestly don't. I don't have like a set thing to do today. I really don't. I'm just trying to think. Because I've done this so much every Saturday. It's like, okay. I'm just over it now. Because if it was left as me, like, probably if I had not have had to get up this early this morning to take my daughter to get her hair done, I would still be at home right now. And I may not have even went anywhere. Maybe till later today, but because I know definitely I want to go do my Old Faithful. I want to go to the Goodwill, because I always like looking at their furniture. I love going in that Goodwill because they have some good cheap furniture. So I'm gonna go there, and I may go in the Ark. It's like a little maze going in there sometimes, but like I said, I just like riding around looking. That's fun to me. My daughter said, "Mama, you do the same stuff every Saturday." I say, "Well, that's what I do." I said, "But you know, I enjoy doing that. I enjoy it." So I'll be back. I'm gonna go in Ross.